Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Frank Bello from Anthrax and Altitudes and Attitudes. You are listening to Blevins Nation. Turn it up!
Blevins Nation Entertainment and BlevinsNation.com, the place to go for all the best in rock and roll music, new rock, and podcasts. So sit back, hold tight, and open up your ears. The revolution is here. Now here's your host, Chris.
All right, everybody, this is Chris with Blevins Nation, and we're talking with Frank Bello of Altitudes and Attitude, and also the infamous Anthrax. How's it going?
It's going well, man. You know, Chris, you and I have been talking right before all this stuff.
Yeah.
We've been yapping away. We forgot to press record.
Yes.
But it's good, man. I'm doing okay. I'm at this thing called home. I don't know if you heard about it, but I haven't been home in quite a while. It's been the juggling act of what now is two bands between the Anthrax thing, coming home from Japan, Australia, and New Zealand. I was with Altitudes and Attitude before that for 2 weeks on the road with Slash, and went right to New Zealand, right to Australia straight from there, and then it was New Zealand, Japan, and then I went right back out with Anthrax again.
Okay.
It's been pretty fun, and no, we haven't an Altitudes and Attitude game. I'm all lost. But there's been a lot of touring. Long story short, and it's nice to be home. It's nice to see my family. My son's grown another inch. He's 13.
Okay.
He's 13 years old, so it's great. It's nice to see. I love working, obviously.
Yes.
I love playing. I don't call it work. I'm lucky enough to do this for a living. I know that.
Yeah.
But to be able to do this and write songs that people dig, I'm very lucky, and I know how fortunate I am. So I have no problem being on the road. But there is time for family time you got to make.
Oh yeah. You know, I can't understand these bands that get out there, artists, whoever, and they make music and they don't tour. I mean, why are you making music? I mean, the ultimate thing is to play it live. I mean, I support live music over anything. Don't get me wrong. I support.
You do. Know. Oh yeah, I know, Chris.
Yeah. So it's the greatest. It's the greatest thing, and it's especially when it's an experience. You know.
Totally. I mean, you know what I'm learning about this whole new band thing with the Altitudes and Attitude touring? It's not as easy. Look, I love going back into the band. Like, look, we did the whole thing on the last round. We did in the minivan, me, Dave, Bumblefoot, and we had another band. We had a couple of bands, one for some gear, and one for us. We were driving, show to show, hotels that night, little motels, $75, $100 hotel rooms. That's the way it is, man. You got to do it, and I kind of just like getting back to it. It's fun being on the big tour bus with the Anthrax thing, and I'm very grateful for that. But this is rawness of it all. This is where we started. So we're starting this new thing, and we're having a good time. People are reacting to it very positively. So we're really psyched about what's going on with the Altitudes and Attitude. By the way, Chris, we call it A&A for short, so it's easier for people.
Oh yes, exactly. But speaking about that, a lot of bands are now y'all's age. I wouldn't say age, just came out the same time around in the 80s, are doing the whole fly out, play weekend, come back, 3-show thing, stuff like that. And I don't see Anthrax doing that. Y'all are definitely. I mean, you might do it every once in a while, but I mean, most of the time you're, like you said, a tour bus, and y'all are still packing big outdoor arenas or whatever you want to call it. You know what I'm saying? And that's so hard to do, and that's awesome. That's a statement.
It's a statement, but it's also and this shows you how grateful we are to our fan base. Our fan base has actually grown since the Big Four. I guess a lot of people on that big four, and I credit Metallica as the biggest band, probably arguably the biggest band in the world, who I love. They're all my friends.
Mm-hmm.
They brought us out on that big four tour. All other bands, Slayer, Megadeth, Anthrax, and Slayer. I mean, Slayer's retiring now. You know, that was a special time, and that really brought. And we've been touring, by the way, I have to put it on the side. We've been touring with Slayer pretty much nonstop on this farewell tour, which we love.
Yeah.
So we've been very fortunate from that, from the big four, number one, just building our fan base. Maybe a lot of people, when we went on that, heard about Anthrax but never saw it. But after they saw the band, we found our fan base really grew from that. And young and old, it doesn't matter what age. Our fan base, I'm telling you right now, I could tell you this. 11 years old, it goes from anywhere from 11 years old to 60. And I could say that openly and easily because I meet people all the time. You know, funny, I was just picking up my son from school yesterday, long story short. The kids in his class in his school came up to me, "Yo, Frank Bello." I said, "How do these kids are 13, 12 years old. They know about Anthrax through their fathers and their brothers, their older brothers and stuff, and maybe just YouTube now." And
that's awesome.
As big a fan, dude. It's a great sign of what's to come because that means the fan base is growing. And for me, there's nothing more fulfilling to see that there's a younger fan base, along with our own fan base that we have, which is awesome. It's growing. So even for the next record, which I'm psyched about, the new Anthrax record next to come up, there's a great future. We're ready to. I'm telling you, man. We're not slowing down. We're putting it in fifth gear now. That's what we're doing. We're ready to go. A very energetic band and hungry band. I can tell you that. That's what Anthrax is.
That's awesome, and that's good to hear. You know, oh shit! Good thing this is recorded because I just had a brain fart. I forgot what the hell I was going to say.
That's right. Welcome to my world, dude. Chris, you don't have to worry about that.
But
I could be looking in a mirror right now.
But the cool thing is, though, man, that, you know, there is still hope out there. You know, like this 1975 at Coachella the other day had a big thing on the background said "Rock is dead." Yeah, kiss my ass. Huh. It's not. You know.
Hey, you know what, dude? Here's what I think about all the people who say that kind of stuff. Who's the authority to say that? Who has the authority to say anything is dead, right?
Exactly.
Unless you're in a box. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. I was just on a Slayer tour that on the last run we just did. Those were sold out shows every night. Those were a lot of big places. Those were all big places. When I say a lot, there's all big places. And I'm not talking about Australia and Japan. No, of course, those are packed. I'm talking about America. We did all the big sheds. Every one of them. If they weren't sold out, they were filled to the brim.
Yeah.
So. For those are the people that want to keep harping on this rock is dead thing, fine. And you know what? Maybe it's good. Maybe it's good that rock is underground because that's where the best music comes from when you're hungry.
Oh,
and I think that's great.
Hell yeah, it is. You know, I mean, hell, that's how it started. Metallica was underground pretty much until they made their first video, and they said they never would. But you know, that's a whole nother topic. But
everything, rock and roll, dude, rock and roll in general was underground.
Yes.
I mean, look, let's face it, it's the hip hop world. That's fine. I get it. Mm-hmm. I understand. It's a new generation. That's cool. I respect all music, but at the same time, you can't say one form is dead. Rock was big for a very, very long time. It was the music. And just because it goes underground doesn't mean it's dead. I think, you know what happens when you go underground? You formulate the best music that's about to come out. Look when Guns N' Roses came out. They blew the top off of everybody.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
I'm telling you, man, Chris, you and I were just talking about this. Probably some young band in a garage right now writing what I hope is the best rock and roll we've ever heard. And I can't wait for that because that's going to blow the doors up of everything because there's a hunger for it. There is a hunger for rock and roll. So I don't listen to that rock is dead. I don't believe it because, look, it's never going to be dead in my eyes. I still have all my rock records and I listen to them every day, period.
There you go. Well, you know, I don't see how it can be. I mean, I know it's not. But, I mean, I don't see how people can say that with all the festivals new festivals are coming out every year with just phenomenal rock lineups, metal lineups, you know. Exactly. I mean, and this year is just ridiculous with them, you know. especially with Guns N' Roses getting back into it, man. It's just it's making things. They're helping again, you know.
Totally, but you know what? I look at it this way, man. Life is cycles. Life comes in cycles.
Yes.
You can't really think you know everything about it. I don't know anything. I certainly don't. I just know it's a cycle. So rock and roll was big. It was the big boy in town. You know, now hip hop is. That's fine. There's room for everybody.
Yes.
That's the way I look for it. That's the way I look at it. Life is too short to worry about this nonsense, man. Let's just enjoy it.
Yeah, yeah. You know, I haven't seen Anthrax live. Missed y'all every time, and I've got to see that. But I have to say that from the 80s, as far as a metal band is concerned, Anthrax was one of the most energetic bands. Just from watching live stuff on YouTube and also the videos from back in the day, y'all put on a damn show. You know, phenomenal.
Thank you. You know what it is? It's the music that drives you. You know,
Yes.
we always say that. What drives you energy-wise on stage and all that stuff. Look, I want to have a good time. Everybody out there, the fans are coming to see this show and forget about their problems for a little while.
Yeah.
I'm leaving it all on the stage, 110%. I have to. I can't cheat. I'm not a cheater. I can't cheat people. I have to give everything, and thankfully I'm able to do it with this yoga stuff I'm doing. I love it. I'm very lucky to do this, and I know that. So I want to make people forget about their problems for an hour and a half whenever we're on stage, and just you know, it's not just the band, man. It's the audience too. There's
Yes.
that one energy. We bring the energy, but the fans also bring the energy, and I think together we make this one big energy. And that's the important part about it.
Oh yeah, yeah, exactly. Now, quick question here, a couple of them. What did you? Well, first one. How was it different from the LA scene to the New York scene? I mean, because y'all, you know, of course, started in New York.
Well, we're New York guys, you know. I mean, you got to remember that's where we grew up. So,
Right.
you know, there was the whole metal scene in New York, and it was just in the West Coast. There was, you know, but at the end of the day, I just all see it as one because look, everybody was into a Priest, Maiden, all that stuff.
Right.
So I just found, you know, for me, it didn't. And then you talk about you had Metallica on the West Coast, you had Slayer on the West Coast, Megadeth, all that stuff. That's great, but I guess it was overkill with us, right? There was a lot of bands, you know, on the East Coast too. Of course, Twisted Sister.
Yep.
You know, Ramones, of course. Come on, one of the biggest influences for any band, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of great music all around. That's what was great about it, man. You had great music all around. And then people were getting into it. It was a scene. It was up and coming. It was fun. It was fun to see, man. Metal was, you know, early '80s of metal was awesome, dude. I mean, metal's still awesome.
It
you know,
is.
It's just that's where it began. And I just think it was a good ride, and I'm still enjoying the ride. That's the way I look at it.
That's cool. You know, Overkill is going to be here in a few weeks, so can't wait for that.
I love those guys. They're good friends of mine. Say hello to my boys for me.
Okay, very cool. Now, what did you cut your teeth on?
Well, for me, you got to remember, I grew up, it was Iron Maiden, Rush, Priest, all the obvious, I mean, all that kind of stuff. So it was, and, you know, stuff like the Ramones, all that, you know, all that good stuff.
But what?
And I grew up on that as a bass player. I was really growing up on, you know, the Rush, the Maiden, and stuff like that. You know.
Okay.
Sabbath.
Oh yeah, Steve Harris. I mean, you know,
of course,
Geddy Lee.
all my favorite bass players. Sure, of course. All the good stuff.
Hell yeah. Okay. Well, very cool. Now let's see here. One more thing. What's your favorite band out right now? Rock, metal, whatever.
Wow, that's a great question. Who's my favorite band out right now? Who did I hear that I want to? That's a really good question. I can't say. You know, Rival Sons. How about Rival Sons?
Okay.
They're doing for me, and a lot of people have their opinions on. I think they're at the forefront. They have it all. They have a great singer, great music. They have it all. What I think a great rock band is. You know, I just appreciate that band. I just really dig them. I love Altitudes and Attitude to open some shows for them. So if they're listening,
oh hell yeah,
please Yeah, I would love Altitudes and Attitude. Dave and I would love to open for that band because I'd love to watch them every night. It'd be awesome.
Oh yeah,
That singer rules.
Well, they're rock and roll. You know, the
Rock and roll, man.
'70s, the '70s, like you said, things coming back around. You know, the '70s are back. You know, strong.
Yeah. And you got to remember, man, that's where we all started. I was into metal in the 80s, but in the 70s, I grew up on rock. Rock and roll. That's what got me into the metal later on. So it's all one. That's the way I look at it. You know, it all comes from somewhere. That's where I started. Look, I was a Boston fan, Zeppelin, all that great stuff in the 70s. So, and then you go back to the Beatles and stuff like that. So it's all a progression, man. I'm very grateful to be in music. I love music. All kinds of music.
Yes, definitely. Well, that's cool, man. Now, when is are y'all going to be able to go back out again with Altitudes and Attitude this year, or is that?
Yeah, well, actually, we're trying to because Dave and I have our day jobs. We have to tend to first. So we finally made a little time because Dave's got a million things going on.
Oh yes.
Aside from Megadeth, I am choosing to stay home in May because I need to be with my family for a while and just be family and be a dad for because I love my family and I have to be home for a little bit, and then I start up in June with Anthrax again in Europe the festivals, and then Altitude and Attitude. We're looking at the fall, and I know something that's being planned for very early next year, and what they're talking about in January that is being really negotiated and talked about right now for Altitude and Attitude to play with another group band that I think a lot of people, including myself, I'm crossing my fingers that happens because this tour, if that happens, because I think both parties want it to happen. I know I do. Okay. I think a lot of people will be so into this tour. So I'm hoping that happens for January, February with Altitude and Attitude. So yeah, so the future is definitely touring.
That's good. Now, is that going to be a co-headliner thing or a support thing, or
I'm all about supporting, so no co-headline. I'd rather just open for the bands I want to see.
I love
for
that.
This, it would be a pleasure to open for this band that I'm pretty excited about.
That's cool. Now, is it big enough for? I mean, would it be a club thing, or would it be a little bigger, or?
It's a great question. I don't know, but all I know is the idea of the tour would get me going because I'm a fan. I'm a fan. I've always been a fan. I'll always be a fan of this music, of rock in general, and I would love to see something like that they're talking about happen. So I've been pushing it, that's for sure.
Well, cool. The Anthrax album y'all are working on. Is there a projected time?
No, when it's time, it's time, and you can't rush that. You want to sit on the songs. You want to live them and make sure as fans, because we're fans, you have to be fans of this music, and you got to live it and know it checks off everything that you feel in your gut,
Yes. Okay.
It's very important. You can't just put it out, man. It's got to be the right record.
Yeah, exactly. I understand that.
And it's going to be heavy. We're pretty excited. The stuff we have so far, I'm so stoked on, but I don't want to hype it up too much because there's a long time to go. We have a lot more riffs to go, a lot more music to write. And I'm kind of psyched that we're in the space we're at. We're all for one kind of vibe, which is good.
Yeah, that's very cool. Now, real quick again, what about Anthrax going on the road? You said June.
We go to Europe in June, all the festivals.
Oh, Europe.
It's a festival tour.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, are y'all going to be doing? Y'all going to be back here in the States after that? Doing some shows?
No, I don't think Anthrax in the States because we did so much touring in the States with Slayer.
Okay.
I think it's time to take a rest and give everybody a rest and then put out the record. And who knows? But you know what? The great thing about being in this metal business, you're friends with so many people. People just ask us to come out and play if it's the right circumstance, the right tour. Of course, we have an open ears to that. But right now, we're in writing mode.
Okay. Very cool. Anything else in the future?
Just Altitude and Attitude. We're really pushing that. Megaforce is really stoked on it. It's doing well at radio, from what I hear. Okay. They're starting to look at the song "Slip" as a potential next single, which is doing well, and the rest is we'll see what happens. This is all new to me with this rock and roll kind of thing and the lead singer thing. So I'm just enjoying it and just watching it happen.
Well, it's very cool, man, to see. Especially, I see you change from bass to guitar and being a front man. I mean, and
Thanks, Chris.
when I
You know what it is, man? You're seeing me. That's how I am. That's what I do when I come off tour. I go in my living room, and you're seeing me with the TV on mute. That's exactly what I do. I pick up a guitar, and I write songs, and I start singing them into my living room. That's literally what you see on the stage there. So
That's awesome.
It's really not different for me. It's different for people to see because they're used to me with the bass. But I love the reaction that was getting because they were enjoying it, and I'm enjoying it. So it's a good vibe. So I really want to thank everybody for accepting it and digging it.
Oh yeah, definitely. Now, do y'all have a website for Altitudes and Attitude?
Yeah, altitudesandattitude.com, and also Twitter, and our thing is at Altitudes and Attitude.
Okay, and I think you have one on Facebook too. I think there's Altitudes and Attitude.
Same thing,
on
yeah.
there. Okay, all right.
Yeah, come on and check us out and say hello and join.
Oh yeah, definitely. And get out and get this, get it out and buy this album.
Get it out, stream it, whatever you want to do, but just listen to it. That's the most important thing. It's a rock record we're very proud of. A lot of people are digging it, thankfully. And look, it's not easy to come out with a new record after never doing it. And Dave and I, we really love what we're doing, and it seems that people are digging it. So we're hoping just to get it in people's ears and give a listen. That's all we ask, and we thank you for it.
Oh yeah. Well, we thank you. I mean, if it wasn't for y'all, man, there would have been, no, I'm the man. no, not guy. You
gotta keep creating. That's the way I look at it. You gotta keep going.
Oh yes.
Like hungry sharks, man. Like hungry sharks. Gotta keep going.
Well, shoot, yeah. Well, everybody, we've been talking with Frank Bello and of Anthrax, and also Altitudes and Attitude. Get out and get that CD, or at least download it, stream it, whatever, like he said. And
it's called Get It Out on Megaforce Records. I had to say that. Sorry.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah. You know what? My radio show is on Sunday nights, 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern on rockrageradio.com. And I'm going to play Slip this Sunday. So
thanks, man. Thanks, Chris. Yeah, let me know how you dig it, man. And hopefully it does well and people react to it well. And, we're just a rock band in a van tour. That's what we're doing, man. We're driving the vans. It's good times, man.
Living in a van down by the river.
You got to do what you got to do, man. This is support of rock and roll right here. That's what this is.
Exactly. Well, it's good to see that, man, because a lot of guys wouldn't do that, especially that are already established, You
got to love it. That's the way I look at it. You got to be in it to win it, and I want to have fun with it. I'm loving this, and I'm fortunate enough to do music, man. I'm very thankful. So why not, man? Let's just get it out there. Exactly. No pun intended.
Exactly. Hey, and everybody go and see them when they come through your town. Now, one last question. Are you going to be, is Altitudes and Attitudes going to go overseas and play? You see that?
We just came back from we did Slash was kind enough to bring us out.
Oh, that's right.
On the tour,
which
was awesome. And, Slash doesn't need Altitudes and Attitude because he sold out the shows on his own. So it was just amazing that he's he's a friend of ours, which is awesome. Let me tell you, Slash is the best guy. He's just an amazing person, amazing in every way.
Yeah.
Musician, he's just a really beautiful, great person. So he brought us out and said, here's the stage, and to a sold out show every night to these big arenas. Yeah. And the band, Miles, they're all great dudes. And it was a wonderful tour, really good push off for us on this record. It was a big look, and a lot of people got into it. There were hands up. When we left that stage every night, everybody's hand was up in the air. We sold a lot of records on that tour, so everything went well. We were pretty psyched.
That's awesome. That's great that someone would do that. You know what I'm saying? Because that doesn't, a lot of people won't take somebody out like that and, show them, hey, here, this is my people.
Yeah.
Rock them.
He's amazing. He's Slash and the guys, they're awesome. They're a great band and great people. And I couldn't think enough good things because they're awesome.
Yeah. I saw Guns N' Roses play with Motley Crue in '87 before they got big. That was awesome.
Wow.
That was very cool.
A great band, Just always been a great band. So yeah, I was there in the beginning too, from the first record. So
That's
always been a great band.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Sorry about that, guys, but that's all we had time for. And I want to thank Mr. Frank Bello of Anthrax and Altitudes and Attitude for coming on and joining the show for Blevins Nation. And won't you check out altitudesandattitudes.com and check them out on Facebook and Twitter. And you can check out Blevins Nation on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, of course, and on iTunes and iHeartRadio, Stitcher FM Player, Google, Spotify, all that good stuff. And you can also check us out on www.blevinsnation.com, and that's where you can get all of our podcast. And this was a great one. It was an awesome one. We got some really good, cool ones coming up. Coming up next is going to be Jean Paul of Clutch. Just went and interviewed him at Bunbury Festival here in Cincinnati, Ohio, and saw them live for the first time, and what an incredible fucking show that was. Very awesome. Very cool. And anyway, thanks again, Frank, for joining us, and stay tuned for lots more with Blevins Nation. And also check out my band V13, Voodoo 13. That's right. We just released our first single, and it is available right now on iTunes, Spotify, Apple Music, and Deezer.com. So check that out, and video coming real soon. The album's going to drop here in a few weeks, and can't wait to get out there and play it live for you guys. First show is going to be August 2nd down in Brandon, Mississippi at BB's Live, Bonnie Blair's, and we're going to be playing with Sweet Tooth Jones. And then the very next night, we're booking something, but can't confirm it yet, or well, can't say it right now because it's not confirmed yet, but it will be very soon. And thanks, guys. Remember, wherever you go, kids, there you are.